My wife and I are delighted to be here in the campus of a young learning university. We have always heard universities teach, but it's very agreeable to learn that universities are also learning, because as Chekhov, the famous, the renowned story writer in Russian, wrote once that man is an eternal student. So I'm very glad that those who are teaching are also learning. जब मैं अपने डिप्लोमेटिक जीवन के संदर्भ में अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी के साथ 4 साल मैंने काम किया, तो उन्होंने मुझसे एक बार पूछा कि जैन साहब, आप कई देशों में राजदूत रहे हैं, तो मुझे हिंदी में, क्योंकि उन्हें हिंदी बोलना ज़्यादा पसंद था, तो उन्होंने मुझसे पूछा कि आप हिंदी में मुझे एक सेंटेंस में बताइए, ये राजदूत क्या भला होती है, वो क्या काम करता है। तो ये बड़ी चुनौती थी। तो मैंने कहा, मैं एक सेंटेंस नहीं बोलूँगा, 3 शब्द बोलूँगा: भ्रमण, भोजन और भाषण। जो डिप्लोमेट होता है, तो मैंने कई सर्कमस्टांसेस देखे कि आप यूनिवर्सिटी जाएं तो आपको कभी इंडियन हिस्ट्री पे बात करना पड़ता था, कहीं कॉन्फ्रेंस में जाइए तो इतनी टेक्निकल कॉन्फ्रेंस कि आपको इनोवेशन के बारे में भी बात करना पड़ता था। तो इस सब बवंडर में असली ट्रूथ ये है कि एक डिप्लोमेट इज ए जनरलिस्ट, and generally at these highly intellectual conferences, people think that they are only for specialists who are well known for their knowledge of the subject. But I think in a highly crucial matter for the human society today, management, innovations, challenges and opportunities for sustainable development, I am glad that at least in the inaugural session you have decided to include a generalist. Because a generalist will give you a bird's eye view of what really is behind and not merely count the trees. For the next 2 days you are going to count the trees, but I want to put in my perspective of what are the challenges before society, for global society as well as national societies, to face this challenge of technological progress on the one hand, technological advances on the one hand, tremendous technological advances as Dr. Dhar said, and the need to feel that the young India of today is also old India, proud of its traditions, spiritual heritage, and holistic underpinnings to life as a whole. These are important matters, and therefore, in discussing this, what I'd like to emphasize to you all is not to forget the forest. Don't merely count the trees. That is one. Victor Hugo, the 18th century famous novelist, philosopher, and thinker, wrote on the eve of French Revolution, and I grade today's revolution towards sustainable development as a kind of real revolution in the society. And he wrote, there is one thing stronger than all armies of the world, and that is an idea whose time has arrived. Time has arrived for the idea of innovation. Innovation as linked with not just running an industry, not just making profits for your own factory, but for serving the society, for value-based progress and upbringing of human generations, not today, but also tomorrow. I think that long-term perspective must be kept before us. This is really, after the communications revolution, telecom revolution, and prior to that, the famous industrial revolution and all that, we live in history through revolutions, because human society makes many mistakes, wars, violence and all that, and covers it up all with what we call revolutions. So today's revolution is that it's a 21st century is an innovation century. Never before we have given serious thought to do out-of-box thinking. That is very important. In India, of course, we commonly say, what is innovation? अरे ये क्या बात करते हो innovation? हम तो जुगाड़ करते हैं. So the common definition of innovation in India is जुगाड़. कि कुछ भी हो मशीन, कुछ भी हो इंस्ट्रूमेंट, हम उसको चला देंगे. आप कंपनी का स्पेयर पार्ट मत लीजिए. We have this talent. Can we refine this talent a little bit more and transform it into innovation that would keep us forward, more advanced than the world at large? Because after all, let us not forget that we are glad to be and we are proud to be a superpower in information technology. And now let us give a new face to information technology by linking it directly and in value-added terms with sustainable development. Now, what I'm going to say is that in this task, it is not as if what I'm saying is based on my original thinking. We have examples in India of how, not only of today, but today as well as yesterday, how we have combined innovation with sustainable development. My first point is, I will give some icons and what they have achieved in India, for India and the world. First is Kumar Mangalam Birla, a young man who succeeded his father when his father unexpectedly passed away at the age of 50, around 50. He was only 28. He inherited a Birla Group empire with a turnover of 20,000 crores of rupees. In 17 years, at the age of 50 or around, that was the age of his father, who was also a visionary man, he has brought it up to 48,000 crores per annum. And by 2015, in his own words, he doesn't brag, but in his own words he says, I'll take it to 60,000 crores of rupees. Now that is a person who has achieved so much, not only nationally, but globally, through mergers and acquisitions. And he has exited from many traditional industries of the Birla Group, gave them up because they were out of date or not making profits or not serving the society enough. He has stressed on meritocracy. Meritocracy is at the bottom, at the foundation of innovation. If you don't have merit people, talented people coming together and coordinating, you cannot innovate. Innovate is not a single person's brain wave. Never equate brain wave with innovation. And the result is that he is today globally present in cement, textiles, insurance, financial services, quality education, and apart from that, more importantly, chemicals, carbon black, aluminium, copper, minerals, telecom, and several such industries. The list keeps on expanding. And you know, he is having mergers and acquisitions and controlling industries, different key industrial sectors in as many as 36 countries. Now behind it, what is the secret? And in his own words, he said the secret is OIIA. I observe first. O is for observation. I look around. What is the scenario today? What was the scenario yesterday? And what can be the scenario tomorrow? And then I use I, that is my instinct, my intuition, or as American experts call it, my gut feeling. What is my gut feeling? Leave aside all reports and big technical reports which may have come to me. I, on my own, critically examine what can be done. That is intuition. He has placed a lot of emphasis on intuition. And intuition is coordinated intuition. His own intuition, and as a result of meritocracy, also the intuition of his top advisors who are also experts in their respective field. Second I is for innovation. This leads to innovation. And the fourth is it leads to action. So OIIA is the formula given to us by a young rising star icon in the field of innovation. Innovation, and along with it is combined, that is interesting, is combined also sustainable development. Because in the matter of CSR, corporate social responsibility, his record is absolutely glorious and praiseworthy, recognized by all. And that is an example one can follow. The second example I would like to give is of Sam Pitroda. Sam Pitroda brought in telecom revolution. He was a different personality altogether. He didn't own any industry. He was not an industrialist. He was not an entrepreneur. But he had the courage of his knowledge and experience to persuade India's Prime Minister to launch the telecom revolution, which brought access to telephones, and that revolution led finally to mobile revolution, with which we are all familiar today. Mobiles are all over the country, all over the world. Third example I would like to give is Kurian, the great milkman of Anand. The way he set up Anand Dairy Cooperatives. He was an entrepreneur, but a social entrepreneur. He had the aim of not making money for himself, but he had the aim of organizing cooperatives, enriching farmers' incomes, and making them live much better, at the same time overcome the deficit in milk production in India. And equally, he had a global outlook. I had the pleasure and privilege of working with him for 3 years when as India's ambassador to European Union, when we signed the 3 famous Operation Flood agreements. During summer months, whenever the milk produced in the country was not enough, he didn't let the farmers suffer. He managed to import milk powder without any charge as a matter of sustainable development. They offered us some cows free of charge. When I went to Spain to see the cows, I found they were all old and not worth it. We thanked them for the offer, and Kurian came to Brussels and told the chairman of European Council, I need milk, the product. I am not interested. We have enough cattle in our country to look after. These are the 3 examples that I would like to give. And all these 3 examples show change, that innovation is using change to better human needs and values. And the change is in essence a step forward, a unique step forward transformation aided by not only better technology, but bold stroke management decisive strategies. Plus, an entrepreneur cannot ekla chalo. Let us remember that. You can't ekla chalo. If Birla or Ambani want to ekla chalo and only make money, ultimately